I turned my drawing into a magical build in Minecraft. So guys, in today's video I created a custom terrain where I'm gonna be building a magical library as suggested by one of you guys. But before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that I finally have a Discord server. It's a great way to get in contact with me if you too want to suggest something I should build, or if you just would like to chat with me and other members of our little community. The link will be in the description, and while you're down there, maybe consider subscribing if you want to catch more of my stuff in the future. So before I even started building, I had spent a little time in World Painter fiddling with making a landscape that would suit my vision for the library. And so I'd created this small circular world where a river has carved out a small canyon through the forest, and right here is where the build is gonna go, but it's currently just a puddle of water. So let me just pull out some world edit and start making a little rocky peak to place the build on. Now I know it looks like I'm making it out of sand, and that's because I am, but for good reason, cause sand, a gravity block, is a lot easier to sculpt with rather than stone. When I had a little mound, I started getting the general shape and size of the building and bridge down. And obviously, I already had a pretty good idea of what I was going for, since this was what was included in my sketch. And with some basic shapes and colors down, it was time to get some ideas for the inside. And since I wanted this to be not just a library, but a magical one, I decided it should extend far down into the ground, ending in an endless abyss made with some black glass, giving that fog effect you can make with glass. Then I started working on the outside detailing, but quickly decided it was not going my way, so I went away from the game for a bit, and when I came back I made it look like this. Some open windows, and a bit of purple trim right beneath the roof, which is pretty close to what it ends up looking like, although there are still a few things I changed. Now it was time to decorate the bridge, because we can't just have this thin slice of stone floating. The thing is, I haven't built very many bridges, and never really any of this size, so I struggled quite a bit with figuring out a good design. In the end, I decided to just go pretty simple with an arch holding up the bridge, which I think looks pretty decent. I mean, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions on how to make this better. Then it was time to start decorating the interior, and boy did this turn out to be a tedious process. I don't even want to think about ever placing a bookshelf again. Well, at least not for a while. At some point I realized, wait, there's no way to get from one floor to another without flying, and you know, perhaps this would be alright for a magical library, but on the other hand, I felt like the visitors coming here might be of all sorts of different species, like elves, dwarves, fairies, and even Minecraft villagers, and not all of those can fly, so I started working on some stairs between each floor. After finishing most of the inside except for 2 floors, the tediousness had gotten to me, so I decided I should turn my attention to the outside. And even though the terrain and area around the library were already looking pretty decent thanks to World Painter, I started creating a little road leading in each direction along the canyon. And right off to one side of the bridge, I pasted in some village houses and extra trees, which regular viewers of the channel might recognize since they are recycled structures from my superior spruce biome. But you know, recycling is good for the environment, so don't harp on me too hard for not creating custom houses for this build. They are really just there to create a bit more atmosphere and life in the build. And after this nice little break and whiff of fresh air amongst the villagers, I finally finished the inside of the library. Then, to put some finishing touches of our little magical world, I added some more mushrooms, trees, and village houses, and even this thing. Look, let's not even talk about this bridge. It was on a diagonal, and well, you can judge it for yourself. And finally, I thought the library was a bit too dark, so I opened it up with a glass floor at the top where you can stand and stare all the way into the abyss below. And now we're ready to take a look at the finished result. As we approach the library, we can see that even with its grand entrance, it appears pretty small from the outside, and it isn't until we enter that we notice the many levels stretching deep underground. we still have ahead of us. And so as we make our way deeper into the magical library, the number of forbidden texts and magical grimoires hidden amongst dictionaries and herbal lexicons slowly become more and more. So thanks again to the Traveler of Worlds for making this suggestion. And remember to join the Discord if you want to share your builds with me. Anyways, that was all I had for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.